Krunchy. Stays crunchy. And milk.
I was going to talk about just all things sport because so much cool stuff in the realm of sport has been happening these last few days. The Hoosiers made history winning the Natty, and I was like, I felt okay about them winning the Natty. I didn't want Miami to win that one. I felt good about the Hoosiers winning because I was like, losing to them is like, okay, that's more sane. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, it sucked to have lost to them, but it's also perfectly fine to have done so. And but like I said, I'm excited about I'm not excited per se. I was pleasant. I was happy with the Hoosiers doing their dang thing. I as always staying astounded by the Broncos. Me and Box, if you like I said, long time listeners, you know me and Box been talking about the Broncos. I don't know, since before they rattled off a lot of wins in a row some months back, and the standard still applies. How the fuck is that team winning now? This week, they got to go with a quarterback who hasn't started a game since 2018 and will have had basically a week's worth of practice.
Practice?
He got some time.
Practice?
He got some time in the preseason, but everybody was like, Nick Foles. Like Nick Foles had 5 games to play before he had to go. Before he got to the playoffs. So like things happen. This man gets to go into the AFC Championship game on basically a week's worth of practice. And I'm just like, sure, I guess. But here's my point being. If the Broncos win this game, then the Broncos got to be something special, right? I gotta just accept that is something great going on there. And it is beyond, Bo Nix or luck or whatever you want to call it.
I mean, if they really want to win, maybe time to bring back Tebow time.
Jesus Christ.
Use the power of the Lord.
Man, he was really not good. And I wonder why
now that the Lord isn't guiding the Hoosiers to victory, he's got some time on his hands.
Was that a thing we were supposed to be praying about or lording about?
Not that we were praying about it, but I don't know, I watched exactly 2 minutes of that national championship game.
Okay.
The final 2 minutes. And then I watched Fernando Mendoza's interview after the game.
Yeah.
And we had a prop bet in our group chat about how many times he was going to say God. And my one buddy said 3, and it was 3.
Nice. Well, Mendoza! It's a Simpsons reference. If you get it, you got it. I can't call it, man. I'm not I don't celebrate go Hoosiers, because fuck them. But if it was going to be one or the other, it was going to be Hoosiers, and I was okay with that. Plus, I like seeing history be made. A 16-0 squad, and at a school that never won. A coach that seems like a pretty vibey guy. You know what I'm saying? People are like, he's not happy. He don't smile. He don't whatever. I'm like, yeah, that dude focused on the task at hand. My man said, I win. Google me. And that had to be the end of it, my nigga, because it was real talk. So he did just that. And I kind of have to put some respect on his name for that, man. I love that the 49ers lost in such a way. It's not, and again, not that I love the Seahawks, but it's just it's one of those things where it's just like, of these choices that you've placed in front of me, fuck the 49ers. All day. And I used to be a huge Joe Montana fan back in the day. And if anybody who played, Genesis knew. So, but no, I did not do that. I have no love for the 49ers as an organization at this point. To call themselves San Francisco is also just a big ass lie. They don't play. It's weird that once upon a time we played out in damn near Akron and called ourselves the Cleveland Cavaliers. True enough. But they play even further away than where our stadium used to be. What our stadium used to be once upon a time. So that's why that's the whackness for me. I really wanted the Bears to win, but I understand the circumstance. I mean, hey, the Rams is pretty decent, but I don't know. That seems to be some. People seem to be thinking that that's some. What am I going to call it? I guess some shenanigans with the refs for the Rams. So. I can never call.
I don't remember any.
No, I think just over a period of time, they believe that the Rams have been getting away with some shenanigans throughout this season.
Oh, okay.
Therefore, it's hate of the Rams just in general. And I'm like, I can accept that. So,
they're a Los Angeles team. Fuck them.
Yeah.
Go Seattle.
See, that's interesting that you say that because though I don't root for the Los Angeles Dodgers, I am very pro the Los Angeles Dodgers because the Los Angeles Dodgers are like, fuck it, I'll spend it. And everybody else want to be the bitches about it and be like, we gotta get a salary cap, or you just come out the fucking pocket and pay these men. You got options. You have options. And I have a team that has not picked up a single free agent. So guess what? I'm in this state right now when it comes to the baseball team I support. So
that's not true. We signed a couple like low cost, broken reclamation project receivers like a month and a half ago. The Guardians are going to be. I say receivers? I meant relievers.
You
talk about
receivers?
Football, so
it's okay.
Yeah, I meant relievers.
The Guardians are going to be such garbage, and I'm just going to be so upset about it because we don't have to be. We can be great, but we have an owner that won't spend no bread.
The beautiful thing for them is that they play in like one of the worst divisions in baseball, so it's just like a cripple fight between all of them to see who's actually going to make it into the postseason.
Cripple fight, a South Park reference, if you don't know. Mm-hmm. That is a classic episode of that particular show. But
would that be considered like a no-no these days? I don't even know.
I know the reference you're making, so I'm just going to go with I know.
But like I know, but like I'm just saying in general because you know how times change and opinions change. I don't know if that one's kosher anymore.
Cripple probably not one we should be bandying about loosely. But again, I know that that's a South Park reference, and so if you don't know that, you know it now.
I appreciate you trying to save me from cancellation right now.
Well, I know that to be a South Park reference, and I'm perfectly cromulent with that bit of knowledge. I'm checking Blue Sky now to see if it has us doing the live, and it does, and I think that's pretty kick ass because I don't know. It's Blue Sky. You know, I fuck with it. I changed as you can see, I changed our background, but I also changed it over there on Blue Sky to the old school. You remember this bumper sticker I used to sell at Big Fun? This bumper sticker just says Cleveland, and it's basically the image of Cleveland, and you can see Terminal Tower, and you can only see the BP building. The old school 3 smokestacks, which I don't think exist at all anymore, but if they do, I think it's just down to 1 smokestack at this point. And it says, "You've got to be tough." And I saw that the other day. I was like, "Oh my god, that's a classic bit of Cleveland nostalgia for me." So, like I said, you know what it is. This is Cleveland in podcast form. So of course, I was like, "Let me make that our background," and I made our background over here.
When I think of a classic Cleveland bumper sticker, I think of a WMMS sticker with the buzzard.
The buzzard, word up. But I can't be taking nobody's. That's a. I think MMS is still around, right? So.
Oh yeah.
I'm
pretty sure. I don't listen to terrestrial radio very much, but I imagine they're still around.
Let me tell you something. You remember when MMS had we about to get some real Cleveland shit. So if you ain't from here, you about to learn some lessons or whatever. You remember when MMS for a hot time had their own cereal?
No.
MMS had their own cornflakes for a hot second, and they were pretty good. They had a different. They tasted like Post cornflakes and not Kellogg's. WMMS.
Oh, was it like made by like a local company or something?
Probably. I'm trying to see if I can find you a box of MMS cornflakes images. And the fact that I can remember eating a box of these is crazy. They probably sold them at Marks or some shit. The Buzzard. Don't call it MMS. The Buzzard. You want to know why we're called the Buzzard? We have a park around here that's we have these like vulture buzzard type shits that come back every year, so that's kind of a part of our local lore. The Buzzard cornflakes. It's like funny. It's like I see this package and it's like this is not the package I remember, but then I guess it's the package that existed, so it has to be the package. So I'm gonna pull this image up for you guys. How honking, flonking crazy. Open the image in a new tab and see if I can get you a good zoom of it before I share it with you. Oh, love this city. All right. Here you go, guys. I'm about to share the old screen with you, and then you can see if you remember this box. This is one of the situations where I'm like, oh, Dan is 10 years younger than me, so he this might have been around when he was a wee baby. But that was the thing you could buy. And
I can tell you with absolute certainty, I have never seen that in my entire life.
So, a couple of things here. One, you have to understand, it was probably just like leftovers that they sold at Mark's event. They probably made far too many for store shelves around these parts. And my mom probably just hit up on Mark's and just came up on some saying some old cereal or whatever. And that's probably how I came up on it. And that's hilarious that I even recall that. That's what a time. The buzzard, man. There you go. That was random. Sorry, y'all. Just I'm saying. But yeah. I was messing around with the background and stuff this week. And like I said, once I saw this Blue Sky was like, you can tell us when you're live, and you'll put the live up on your avatar and so forth. I started working on that, and then I saw somebody post that they were live, and they had these. I usually just throw a link in there and say you can come to Twitch or YouTube. Well, I noticed that they had basically hyperlinks. One said YouTube, one said Twitch that you could click on. I'm like, how do you do that? How do you? And it's basically it's called markdown text. And basically, it's text that's going to take you somewhere. So if you click on this link in our Blue Sky, one will take you to YouTube. Yeah, I was looking at it.
Yeah, I want that bowl and that cup. I was hoping that I could zoom in and get a date or whatever, but the picture's too fuzzy.
Okay. And then I'm checking on the Twitch link. And in both these situations, it takes you to our page. For the Twitch one, it's kind of dope because we're live on Twitch right now. It just takes you right to it. For YouTube, you'd have to click the video that it says we're live right now. You don't need all that. I need all that because I want to share that information with Dan, and I just like that we did. I managed to pull off some showbiz this week.
Apparently, this was a thing that other radio stations did. Because here's another one for a different radio station. Z100 Morning Zoo Flakes, and it says pack for Fred Meyer Inc., Portland, Oregon. It was FM 100.3. The Jammin' Salmon's Cross Weird Puzzle.
I dig the ideal of it. If I could come, I'm sure somebody has got that box for sale somewhere, but I just I remember actually eating the cereal, but also that could be totally just my brain making that up. That I saw
one sold on eBay on November 3rd for $38.50.
Nice.
Let me see if there's any live right now. No results found for WMMS cereal. I'm sorry, Daddy.
I'm trying to see what's popping up over here because this one is of course on Facebook, and of course I can only go two centimeters into Facebook before they you need to log in, and I don't have a Facebook login because I don't be on Facebook. So,
oh, you trying to check Marketplace?
No, I was just seeing they had a link, and I was like, I was hoping there was a conversation about that box underneath it. There was not. So, oh my gosh. Okay. Box has a couple of buddies who, one of them, I don't believe, No.
I found one on Facebook Marketplace.
Nice.
Listed over a week ago. It's actually the picture that you were just looking at.
Oh, kick ass.
The one on the table with the glass next to it?
Oh, they probably just got that picture.
Yeah, it says never opened, old school, you know when, $175.
No, dog.
Listed over a week ago.
So Box has a couple of friends who, for some reason, root for Atlanta sports. I don't believe either of them ever lived in Atlanta. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And so our former coach, will now be coaching the Falcons. I guess the team they might support. I don't know how that works. And I was wondering how you were feeling about that, and if they had said anything about that.
One of them I have not spoken to about it. The other one, he's hoping that it goes well because he would love if the Browns made another mistake in their favor. Browns fans, it's hard to say because, like, it seemed like I'm going to keep it to my little microcosm of people because, like, I've been kind of ignoring most of them recently. So, like, I haven't really been engaging in conversation. But, like, from what I've seen, it seemed like half of us were upset that Stefanski was fired, and the other half don't really care, but they also don't have a preference on who they hire, which at this point, it just seems like all the candidates are going to, like, tell the Browns no thank you anyway. So the Browns will probably just end up with Jim Schwartz by default because he's the only one that actually wants the job, and it's because he wants to be a head coach, and he knows that no other team's going to give him a head coaching job. So it's going to be like, the last girl available at the dance. So, good luck. Not to say that Jim Schwartz is like, let's just say, I think he's one of those guys that will probably end up being a better coordinator than he was a head coach.
Yeah.
But maybe he learned from when he was a head coach last time, like 12, 13 years ago. Who knows? But he's also about to be 60. Like, he wasn't that great of a head coach when he was a head coach.
Yeah.
He's been an amazing coordinator for the most part. But, yeah, I think the Browns are fucked. I don't think they're going to be any good for a while, if ever. So, it's not surprising to me when you fire a two-time coach of the year that a bunch of people just go, thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah, it's an organization that's run poorly and needs new ownership, which we've talked about before around these parts. They are awful, and they're not, and that's just the truth of the matter. Of the guys who have been picked up so far, are you like, oh man, I would have liked to have had that guy? Anybody?
I don't know who any of these people are outside of like John Harbaugh, like outside of the head coaches that were already fired. I don't care enough anymore to figure out who's the passing game coordinator of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Like, I'd rather spend my time doing something else.
Fair.
That was young Dan's game. Older Dan doesn't give a shit anymore because he knows it doesn't matter anyway.
Former Miami coach.
I don't have that like eternal hope anymore.
Well, hey, the former Miami coach is now going to go coordinate in San Diego.
He's another one who told us thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. That man is.
And then the guy that got hired by the Ravens today also told us thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah. No. That youngin from Miami definitely was not going to try to move up to this shit.
And Chris Shula, Don Shula's, I want to say grandson, told us thanks, but no thanks.
Yeah.
So there's 3 confirmed thanks, but no thanks for the Browns. So.
Yeah, we're the Cleveland Browns.
We love punts.
Punts. But that's what's been calculating in our neck of the woods. I want to talk a little foosball with Box. And also, I was wondering how what do you think about this Baker Mayfield nonsense?
I think Baker Mayfield talks a lot of shit for a guy who doesn't back it up very much.
Yeah, that shit was fascinating. I had something else I wanted to
also
say.
He has quite the revisionist history when it comes to these events.
Okay.
Where, like, it's like, oh, yeah, you guys threw me away like I was a piece of garbage. But you're the one who asked to be traded. Or like, talking shit about like Steve Wilkes from Carolina when they were playing like the Jets or something. I saw it like they were playing the Jets or something, and someone from the Panthers was involved or something.
Okay.
And it's like, oh, I'll never forget when he cut me. But then next to that, like, quote was an article clipping from where it said that Baker Mayfield asked for his release and was granted it by the Panthers. So did they cut you, or did you ask to be released? The dude just fucking stirs up drama off of lies. I used to like stand for that dude so hard, but it just like he's his own worst enemy.
Well, also just I don't think the Falcons or Buccaneers are something I need to be worried about. But I do.
But the Falcons are gonna fucking destroy them. Like he's like 1-4, or I mean like 1-5 or some shit against the Falcons, or like 1-3. I don't know how many fucking years he's been the starter there. I know it's at least 2, but I think he's like won 1 game against the Falcons since he got there, and now their team's about to be is like worse than the Falcons, and now the Falcons have like a good head coach. They just like. I think Kirk Cousins is probably going to come back and be their quarterback.
Okay.
So, like, the Falcons, like, are, like, in prime position to probably win both games this year against them. Like, I mean, granted, the offseason could happen. It still has to happen. The draft's a lot of shit can change. But, like, right now, today, theoretically, the Falcons are the better team between the two.
Fair.
But, Baker's going to talk his shit, and then he's going to lose, and then, he'll just act like it never happened. Just like when we traded him to Carolina and we played him the first game of that season, he was off the leash and he was selling T-shirts, and then he lost.
Yeah, pissed down his leg. This Buffalo situation. This got me. Also, I was like, let me Xbox for you if you are hip to this. Their owner had a press conference the other day and basically was just shitting all over one of their wideouts. A little young guy on his rookie contract still, so he's real young. He's
2 years in the league, has hardly done shit. But
yeah.
I don't know if that's because he's bad or just because he's young. But because I don't, it's not like I see every Buffalo game.
Yeah.
I think coming out of college, he was like drafted a little higher than maybe he should have been. So, there was. I remember his scouting report a bit. Wasn't like leaning towards him necessarily grading out as like a potential star receiver.
Okay.
So it seems like they may have overdrafted him, and I guess the owner kind of confirmed it, but in a way that probably didn't need to be said.
That's some wild shit to say about somebody on your team.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like you talk shit about him, and then you're like, well, you're going to ask him to come back for minicamp? He's still under contract for 2 more years. So either they already decided they're going to cut him or trade him or whatever, but who knows,
That's
I can understand getting a poor performance evaluation in private, but getting one so publicly, it's got to be like having my work one-on-one on a team Zoom.
in a way that so I guess so I'm just going to run through this list right here. And it says, so to recap, Terry Pagula fired Sean McDermott, did not consult with Josh Allen on McDermott's firing, said Josh Allen was sobbing in the locker room post-game, promoted Brandon Beane, threw Keon Coleman under the bus, blamed officiating for the loss, claimed Beane is not doing a power play, and said the Bills hit a playoff wall. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that dude too. It's always, but you have to remember, T's kind of a bit of a hippie, and I'm always going to be pro-labor and never pro-ownership. And so this motherfucker could be speaking the gospel truth about Keon Coleman. Fuck him. I'm always going to be on the labor side. I have to be on the employee side because that's all I am in life. I'm an employee. I don't lead an organization or whatever like that. And it's fucked up that he went out there and had that presser and said that shit about this youngster. And it just leads to Buffalo seeming kind of shitty. You feel me? As an organization now. So everybody now looking at these motherfuckers like, it had been a long stretch without Buffalo going to the playoffs before Josh Allen got there. So wait a minute, maybe Buffalo on some bullshit. And now everybody's like, the world is starting to kind of get an idea like, oh, wait a minute, it's been bullshit for a reason, wasn't it? And so, fuck that dude. When could we snag that coach?
What's funny is like the people who were running the coaching search, I want to say it was Stefanski.
Yeah.
They actually they recommended Sean McDermott, and ownership went with somebody else. I think it was ownership and John Dorsey. I want to say it was the Freddie Kitchens hire. They did one of those like analytical searches for upcoming coordinators and whatever, and like the analytics department was Sean McDermott, and they went with the old Freddie Kitchens, and he was fired 1 year later, and then we ended because it was between Sean McDermott and Kevin Stefanski for the analytics recommendation, and Sean McDermott obviously took the Buffalo job, and then they ended up with Kevin Stefanski a year later.
Yeah. Yeah.
But ask yourself, if you're Sean McDermott, why the fuck would you want to come here?
Come 90 minutes west. Your kid don't even got to switch schools. Your wife can just stay there. Because it's just close. You only got to travel. I can sell the city. I can easily sell the city. I could never sell an organization.
That's what I'm saying. It's like whoever takes this job is taking it out of desperation. They're not taking out of desirability.
They're taking it.
They know they're taking a losing situation where a team that has no quarterback. And I don't want to hear about Shedeur Sanders as the quarterback. You're all crazy. Buddy.
What they're doing is they're taking a job that they know is only going to last them 2 years. That's it. They'll be fired in 2 years. Yeah, for sure. We'll give them two. Because that's just what it is. By that point in time, we will have paid out everything to old Rapey McRape. Excuse me, Mr. Jackoff. I don't want to say he's a rapist. He's a jerker, isn't he? So
allegedly, not trying to get sued.
No, because he copped to it and paid a lot of people. So fuck that.
He settled some stuff.
Yeah. Therefore,
nothing proven in a court of law. So this is all alleged. I
speak to those things that he settled, and no more. Oh, Mr. Nut a lot. So, so he'll be that contract will be fine. Should be taken care of. Fine. That would have been like 5 years, right?
He has to be on the team for this coming year, but then after that, they can cut him and figure it out.
All right. So, yeah.
Unless he comes back and performs, and then you give him a contract extension.
Jesus H. Christ.
It'd be very Browns of us, wouldn't it?
We're the Cleveland Browns.
Dude doesn't do shit but get hurt for 4 years. Then he comes back, drags his fucking 3 ACL surgeries, his Achilles surgery, and his massive shoulder reconstruction to like a fucking 9-8 season, and then got everyone thinking, oh man, is he back? Should we re-sign?
Jesus Christ. Right now, this city is like I said, this whole country is on some nonsense. So I'm just gonna blame the energy of our, not the world. It ain't the world's fault. So, but everything, Cavaliers underperforming. The Browns are Browns, and the Guardians are, well, like I said, the Domes.
The Cavs have absolutely annihilated my enthusiasm for this NBA season.
Yeah,
to the point where like I'm not even watching their games. I don't even know when they play. That's how like disgusted I am with the whole situation. Last season I watched every single game that I made it a point to try, like, if I had to have been drastically busy with something else that I couldn't get out of.
Yeah. For
me to not watch the game last season. Now I can't even be bothered to know when the games are.
I don't even know. Well, all right, I'm not even delving into it. They're underperforming. Cleveland Browns are the Cleveland Browns, and the Guardians look like they're about to be extra assy this go round, but extra assy in the Central here with a Detroit team that still ain't quite got it together with Scooble, have they? So we'll see how that goes.
They're probably gonna have to. They might end up selling Scooble because he's about to be a free agent after this year.
I know, and I thought they're trying to do some arbitration with that man, but
there was rumors that they might ship him to the Dodgers. I'm not even kidding, because apparently like even though the Dodgers have been going out and buying everybody straight up, their farm system is apparently like just fucking flush with talent. I saw something like a week or two ago that they were voted like the #1 farm system in Major League Baseball right now.
Spend the money. Invest in your organization. Invest in labor. And guess what you can have? You could have a really good operation that runs well and, brings you home championships. It's just how it works. Invest in labor. We'll repeat that to you over and over again, okay? You remember that if you ever run your own situation. Take care of your employees. You're going to be real good off. I'm telling you. All right? All right. It wraps you. And then we're going to do a show. It's going to be great. Pull my lyrics up. I picked these lyrics. Just because I was just in a place for them. But also then I thought about it, and I remember remember on the Dave Chappelle show, he'd oftentimes have somebody come and perform, and they perform in specific ways. And for this particular one, I think this might have been on the very first episode or it might have been on the second episode of Chappelle show. I don't fuck with Dave Chappelle no more, y'all. Y'all know what it is. But he had some dope musical performances. In this case, it was Mos Def sitting in a car while Dave was driving, just rapping his ass off. And this is that song. And I'm going to rap it to you. Like I said, it's first or second episode. Because I know De La was on one of the first 2 episodes. And then, of course, Kanye and Kama was on there. A lot of good shit going on Dave Chappelle show. Performance-wise. Pull up on the spot on low, shine brighter than all the cats they got on glow. Lay in the cut like they not gonna know. Because if I got to make a move, dog, they not gonna know. This door marked private. This is not faux show. Is Mos Def what you call real? Faux show. Is that what you call gangster? Hell no. They get a little pinch and go snitch to the po. They all talk fast and they all think slow. I'm most definite, not think so. Flood your city with the black ink flow, and my crew ain't scared to let them things go. So stop with the nonsense like he conscious. I'm just awake, dog. I'm doing great, dog. I don't play games, so I don't play a hate, y'all. Get it straight or get the fuck up out my face, dog. I'm like the second plane that make the towers face off. The shit that let you know it's really not a game, dog. Your grind and my grind ain't the same, dog. I'm the catalog. You the same song. So cool and old school like an 8-4. The one your little mommy winded up a waist for. The name the real niggas got they hands raised for. Me and Minnie got your block yellow taped off. Go skate off. Don't push me cause I'm close to the streets, to the beats, the bitches, the niggas, the women, the children, the workers, the killers, the addicts, the dealers, the quiet, the livest, the realest, and that's close. Don't push me cause I'm close to the edge, back, middle, and front. Strong back shit lifting it up from the big and the small, like Jay Brown getting involved. He didn't know it's called Close Edge by the mighty Mos Def. Y'all seen Bay because he don't go by Mos Def no more. But you know what it is. This Stays Crunchy and Milk. It's the City of Cleveland podcast forum, and we do it live every Thursday on YouTube, Twitch, and your favorite podcast services. Assuming you're digging what we're putting down, consider supporting us on Patreon, where membership get you early access to new shows. And we try. It's our podcast where we try snacks, goodies, and who knows what else. Want to contribute to the show? Jump in the chat and share your thoughts with us and other listeners. It's episode 594, and we aren't defacing anything with graffiti. I'm your host, Editor 7713, joined by the Right Reverend Lunchbox 2099. Praise him.
I take umbrage with your use of the word or your words every Thursday in that spiel.
You're right. It should say on Thursdays.
It's
not every Thursday.
We haven't been hitting every Thursday. Just like last week when I got hit with a 15-minute late. Oops, my bad.
And I try to be good about telling Box when we're not recording, and I didn't think nothing of it last week because I was not recording last week. I didn't feel great, and was like, but we had discussed only doing this every other week, and I was like, he knows that. And then Box hit me up like, are we doing a show? And I'm like, we are not.
Wait, when did we discuss doing it every other week?
When we first got back, you was like, it makes sense that we do it every other week because it's just us two. We had a whole chat about it at the opening.
I remember like saying that like it's been more difficult because it's only two of us.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember explicitly saying that we should move to every 2 weeks. I'm okay with it if we decide to do that. I know we're doing inside baseball right now.
Yeah, bro.
Like I didn't think we had an actual discussion about it.
Because I was of the mindset that we had a discussion about it, and that's just, and of course that's on me. That is not communicating, and so that falls on me because I have to run this operation. Have to? I do run the operation. That's just what it is. There's no have to it. We can retire it tomorrow and call this bitch a done deal. But I do run this operation. And so currently we do this every other Thursday, and I will fix that right now, box right here in front of you. We do it live every other Thursday. Until we don't.
While we're promoing, when's the creamy participant come back?
So, honestly, God, we had some crazy news in the world of Bake Off this week, if you don't know. And so I already was like, we got to just do an episode. So what's probably going to happen is Roku announced a big game special of the Great American Baking Show. Forgive me. It releases on February 1st. And I think we're going to review that one. And then we review that one. We can talk about all the news that happened this week in Bake Off. And by then, the news should have settled as to who is going to be who on that show going forward. So basically, Dame Prue Lieth, who is one of the judges on the show and has been judging on that show since the show moved to Channel 4, announced yesterday, in fact, from the time we're recording this, that she was stepping down as a judge on Bake Off. Says she's 86 years old and still got some living to do. And I'm like, damn, Dame Prue. Respect the fuck out of you for that. But if you watch the American Baking Show, Roku's version of it, you watch the regular Bake Off and all the special stuff, she has been there. She's been a presence for like 10 years now. And it's wild to all of a sudden her be like, I'm good. Man,
hearing this news makes me think of we losing our recipes.
For real. And I love
that. You know that lady's got a box with index cards in it.
You know, she's a Michelin star restaurateur. She definitely.
I would imagine at 86, being a judge on multiple baking shows, she has some credentials. Yeah. All I'm saying is that lady predates the internet, so you know she's got some Rolodex with all her recipes written on it, just like my grandmother did.
Yeah. So I think it's pretty dope that I'm sad that she's stepping down, but I also love.
When my grandmother passed away, there was a family group chat where they were like, and I don't want to make it seem like they were cannibalizing my grandmother's life. But there was an actual discussion of who was taking what. Like they were being amicable about it.
Yeah.
There was demand for the recipe book to be photocopied so that multiple people could get the recipe book.
That's real talk. I'm gonna be real with you. So that's some honest shit right there. I have some of the recipes I depend on myself. My recipes are right over here in the book over here. And I'm not saying I hope my kids make my recipes because I doubt it. Lee might. Lee is actually very much like me, and Xander might try. Xander's lady will make him an apple pie, so he doesn't need to make apple pies that much. But I still, you know what I'm saying. But I like the idea. Like I said, I have my mother's the actual card for chocolate chip pie right there. I have her actual card, and I'll have to chuckle at it because it's faded, it's stained, and so forth and so on. And then as it turns out, it's actually just a Nestle recipe. So I've since gone and found the actual Nestle recipe and just use it. But yeah, I dig that idea. So I like that Dame Prue at her big old age is let me just chill, catch a vibe, chill with my husband and do some time and years and do some travel and just living. And I'm like, that's all right. The rumor, nothing has been settled yet, is that Nigella Lawson is going to take over her spot. You probably know Nigella Lawson from Food Network, all kinds of stuff. She's a very attractive older woman who makes all kinds of sex jokes all the time. Enough to might get you going because you're looking at this woman and you hear these jokes. You're like, okay, Nigella, I see you. And
are they jokes kind of like the Kenan Thompson SNL skit where he's the naughty security guard or whatever, where he says inappropriate shit, but because he's the wacky old man, they all let it slide. But then they always had the special guest be the other one who makes inappropriate comments on accident, and they don't give him the pass when he says he's sorry or didn't know or whatever. But then Kenan will say something again, and they'll be like, "Oh, he's just playing," blah blah blah, that kind of thing.
She just be making mention of giving head and so forth and so on. You'd be but she do it in a way that you oh.
I mean, these pictures don't make her look that old.
If you
like when you said old, I was expecting like 70-year-old lady with gray hair. This looks like Anne Hathaway, but aged a couple more years.
Well, this very, that's an old picture. I'm trying to find a more recent shot of her.
Okay, yeah, she's older. Like last night I was at my dad's house, and a Capital One commercial came on with Jennifer Gardner, and I was like, my dad's like, that's an attractive lady, and I was like, she is. He goes, but my dad added the caveat of like, she's like my age, she's old, and I'm like, I don't think she's as old as you think she is. So I looked it up, and she's 53. My dad's like 57, 58, somewhere around there. Yeah. And he's like, oh, I thought she was older than that. And I was like, yeah. I'm like, but she's pretty. And then like I went to Wikipedia, and like Wikipedia always has like that profile picture that like when you click on it expands to like the size of the moon, and it like blew up a picture of her at like some event or red carpet or something, but like you could see through the makeup, Yeah. So like you could see all the age and the wrinkles behind it.
Yeah.
And then so it was like we were just looking at like a perfectly make-upped CGI airbrushed finished commercial on TV. And then I look at like the actual reality picture on my phone right after that, and I'm like, man, these two things do not compare. But she's still a pretty lady for being 53. Like who am I to judge? I'm a 40-year-old overweight, gray-hairing, balding man. So.
All right, this is kind of about the most recent picture of Nigella I can pull up. This is from 3 years ago. So this is basically what she looks like right now. That's her.
She looks very shocked to be getting her picture taken right there.
Yeah, that is definitely a pat.
And I'm assuming that's maybe her daughter on her arm, who looks very confused with that cigarette in her hand.
And that woman is 66 years old.
Okay, so she's like a day walker.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure out what, not to say what she is. I'm gonna be real with you, but is she Welsh? What is she? Well, we don't know. She's a Londoner, and so she's just a chick, just a British chick who looks very nice for her age. I'm gonna put some respect on it. So,
I mean, it makes sense that she makes the naughty jokes. Isn't that what they do over there?
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I said, she would be like. I'm positive you come across her on Food Network, because, like I said, she had all kinds of shows on Food Network. It's a poor stretch there. And
I mean, so, you know what I watch.
I know you watch it when you're in the hotel, so I get it. So,
but like I tend to also like, if I am watching it, it's either some sort of Iron Chef, or it's like a one of those holiday themed baking cookie type shows, or cake war type shit.
But see, that's kind of things like, so she had like Nigella's Feast and Nigella's Christmas Kitchen and blah blah schmaggity. So she had some of those things, like I said there. But it's like it's just like before Food Network became all Guy Fieri all the time. So it's like
it's like Guy Fieri and Bobby Flay.
Yeah.
Beat Bobby Flay, Diners, Drive-In, Dives, Guys Grocery Games. Yeah. Like, those are all things I've seen. Nigella's, Northern Nooky is not anything I've ever seen.
Yeah. So Miss Nigella lost.
And I'm not hating on her. It's not like I've avoided it. I just literally didn't know it existed until just now. Yeah. If it was on and I was in a hotel room, I'd watch it.
Well, she is the rumored to be taking over. That's not something that is guaranteed quite yet. So that is the talk of who might be coming to take over Prue's spot. And I think that would be a great time to be had, because she's funny. She already has hosting shit down, and she makes sweets and stuff like that there, baking type shit. So her opinion is would be good for that. So if that is the case and they can get her contracted for a stretch, I think that'd be a real fun time to be had there. So that's what's calculating with that. But like I said, we'll probably get that is currently what might be the plan for the KP. KP, I laugh at it. KP, even in the off season, is doing for us, for our little small operation, stupid numbers.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, it's where you should be putting your focus.
Well, I do but I do it for the seasons of Bake Off and Bake.
I know, but like, there's got to be like some way where you guys can bridge like that off-season gap, just to keep like interest. Like, I know you say you're doing good,
yeah.
And again, we're doing inside baseball talk here, but like, just like something every now and again, just like maybe like a preview. Like maybe things like an episode of like things you hope to see in the coming season.
I need to just get back to it's hard because I have to write it. It's something that actually requires me writing shit out. I need to get back to doing So Chef, our bear recap show, because that one is very much appreciated, oddly enough, on YouTube. People seem to like that show over there. And there's only 2 episodes of that show that exist. And I should just get back to it, settle down, and start writing it. But doing that is involved. It means taking the time to do it, and it's writing up these full of recaps of a show and things I've noticed on it, and so forth and so on, and then watching it and rewatching it and so forth. And I know, and I should just do it and quit bullshitting. But
I mean, I think it's just the reality at this point is like, we do this show, but like we're down. Just you and I at this point, whether that's permanent or not, who knows? But like, I think we can be honest and admit that like the bread and butter of the podcasting right now, of like what the flagship of this quote unquote network is no longer this show. It is now Creme Patissier, and that's like where I think your primary focus needs to be.
I was trying to figure out how to get Mina Kimes on it because she's going to be one of the guests on that big game episode, and I was like,
and I know you love you some Mina Kimes.
I do love me some Mina Kimes, but I was trying to look up who her representation is, but she has different representation for different things. So I'm like, fuck.
That's a power player. That's a power move.
Yeah. So she has like acting representation. She has, if ever she wants to act, she has people for her to like get her job.
It makes sense because like different people have different specialties, like different avenues, different connects.
Yep.
So just have like an agent for each art.
Yeah. She has like books and speaking engagements, and I'm like, do we fall into that? And I go, not really, because I know what she means by speaking engagements, and this ain't it.
Yeah, $50K to go sit in front of a room of 100 people,
basically. And so I don't know. I might reach out to Roku and be like, do you think? Because the lady we talked to Roku, we worked with on this last season at Roku, was on maternity leave for a stretch here, but she should hopefully be back by now. And depending on how long they give people for maternity leave, and in California, it could be longer than any other state. So, but I don't know.
Especially if she's squatting.
I would research that shit because I was like, what the fuck is going on with this shit? And sir, I think your man's is a bit of a liar. Let me pull up some California.
It's not my man's. I don't even remember the name of the guy. It was just an Instagram video I saw. It's not like I followed this motherfucker.
You was too on his side. That shit was.
I'm always gonna be on the side of management.
Yeah, see, that's some other shit. For squatting laws. So the way you were describing, sort of, I was like, okay, the way he's describing this particular situation, I get it. Somebody moves in, stops paying rent, and then it takes whatever. But squatting to actually just, like, ooh, that house been empty for a while. Let me slide into that house.
Well, I think it's what they call the law, right? The law in California, I mean.
Yeah. So to squat in a house, and what I mean by that is to like not stay over your lease ending. Not that. That's what I'm talking about here, which is kind of the example you were citing. What I'm saying is old school, what we call squatting, which is, finding a spot that nobody lives in and just taking that bitch over. Mm-hmm. For in California, for you to be able to be like, I'm gonna claim this shit as mine, you have to be there, basically unmolested by ownership for 5 years straight. And all ownership has to do is show up on the property at any point, and the 5 years resets. So that is not something that it takes much effort at all to be like, hey man, trespass them the fuck off my property. That part is easy. I get what you were saying about people who just overstay their lease, and this motherfucker got to basically go in there and be like, hey man. Also, as I held on to that thought, I'm like, that shit don't make no sense either. On some old, I'm gonna go move in and be somebody's roommates. Like, how you getting in here? Everything about that dude's shit seemed whack after as I started to read into it further. I was like, I think he was just talking greasy. And like I said, maybe he did that once.
The way the video described it was he would sign himself to a lease for the property. So he would make a lease for himself for his own property and then be able to move into the house. Because like I have to imagine that like if the lease is with the other person is up, there is no lease anymore. So now like they're just in there. If you sign yourself to a lease, which I don't understand how you could sign yourself to a lease, like if that's something legally, but whatever. But that's what the video was saying. Was that he would sign himself to a lease to his own property, move into the house he owns, and then annoy the shit out of the other person to make them want to leave. Yeah. And then I told you the other one about the, felon thing. Yeah. But like they even had this in Silicon Valley, the HBO show. Like when what's the comedian, the Wang or Wong, I'm sure I think his real name. Not what he was in the show, but like he's the comedian. He was the Asian guy in the show that lived in the house. Jin Yang. He was Jin Yang. When Jin Yang found out that like TJ Miller couldn't kick him out of the house, because it was like California and like it would take like a year for the courts or whatever. Like it was literally in an HBO show that this exists.
Yeah. And so, like I said, I want to read up on it and see what else. Now, it bothered me when you said that dude was like getting people sent to jail on some I got a gun and he a felon. It bothered me to my core. I was like, let me read up on this shit.
I understand your position of riding for people or whatever. And, I'll be honest, I found it to be slightly clever. That's all.
I don't think you are anti-person. I don't think you want to see anybody go to jail for some bullshit. That's never our relationship. But it bothered me. So I was like, let me go look into this shit. And so basically, motherfuckers is trespassing. And trespassing is an arrestable offense. Cops can go in that motherfucker and go and just roust your ass out of that motherfucker. You can go to jail for trespassing. It is a crime. So I think that's actually what's happening here. And the sprinkle in a little bit of like, I told him I have a gun. Well, no, so what you did was you said somebody trespassing and they got arrested for trespassing. But you sprinkle that gun part in there and it makes for a much more interesting story. And I think that's really what's happening there. You just getting people trespass. And that's
I know, I hear what you're saying. But like I said, like it was literally part of an HBO show like 10 years ago.
Oh. And
so it's like there's got to be some validity to this law. Like I've heard it multiple times from multiple places.
What it is these laws have been updated in recently in the last like basically since the pandemic.
But like but I think like they've been updated for like the person who's I guess quote unquote trespassing, because like the videos I've seen on YouTube are the people who own the properties saying that they're selling the properties because they don't want to deal with the laws anymore.
So like I said, this is the most recent update, and this was updated here here of this year. This is like 2026 situation, and so this says with the ongoing California housing crisis, the number of homeless people resorting to unlawful squatting is on the rise. Typically, landlords don't think too much about squatters until they find their properties unexpectedly uninhabited or ransacked. Squatters tend to take up residence in unmonitored rentals, vacation homes, foreclosed homes, or other types of vacant buildings following evictions. While we are sympathetic to the housing crisis, squatters can be a landlord's worst nightmare. In a state like California, the law tends to be much less strict on the squatter, which can worry property owners. However, being informed about squatters' rights can help you prepare and prevent this kind of situation. In this article, we'll cover everything you need to know about squatters' rights. And so basically they break down what is squatting versus trespassing, squatting laws in California. And although it's against the law to squat in California, so already we're starting it against the law, okay? Squatters are still granted some legal protections. For instance, a squatter may get legal ownership of of land in California under Civil Code Section 1007 by occupying it consistently for what I just told you, at least 5 years, with a sincere belief that they had a right to the land. And they call that adverse possession. But like I was telling you, what it is that 5 years resets just by you going to be like, hey man, I'm at my house and there's somebody in this bitch. Well, that 5 years starts over. So that's why, you know what I'm saying, there are some squatters' rights, but you got to squat in a place that a motherfucker just ain't showing up to, which is quite possible. You know, some landlords are terrible, some landowners are terrible, and just be like, oh man, I ain't thought about that house in forever. I do own that, don't I? And so that's where that could be a problem. What are squatters' rights in California? Even though the squatting is illegal in California, the Golden State still grants squatters certain rights. When a squatter claims they have squatters' rights, they are typically referred to adverse possession laws. Adverse possession is the legal term used to describe what happens when a squatter takes over the property. In California, there are 4 requirements to make an adverse possession claim. A hostile possession. The squatter truly believes that they are the rightful owner. They occupy the land without knowledge of who owns it or are aware that they are trespassing. Typically, this means the squatter moves in the property with no concern to who owns it because they believe they're taking ownership. Actual possession, they live on the land as if it's their own, pay associated bills and property taxes. This is in opposition to someone who would occasionally stop by the property or use it for other infrequent purposes. Open and notorious possession. Their occupancy must be apparent and they are living there, cannot be hidden. They are not sneaking around the property. They own it and can be observed by neighbors. An exclusive and continuous possession, the possession cannot be interrupted or shared with other parties. This time period must be 5 years in California. If they are previously a tenant in the property, the 5 years begins once tenancy ends. So you have to have been living somewhere, I guess, living somewhere, having your lease go up and your landlord not do a damn thing about it and not come to see his apartment, their land. I don't want to say his just seems like it's only dudes doing this shit for a long time. And then you still got to go to court and call it yours. And there's effort to that shit. And you can be like, hey man, I came through that house like 6 times to check the gas. I pay my taxes at this, I pay my property taxes, so forth and so on. So there's shit to it. And so 30-day squatters' rights is commonly misinterpreted in California. It's true that after 30 days or longer living in a property, a person becomes a month-to-month tenant. However, that does not grant them ownership rights. Rather, if someone has lived in your property for more than 30 days, it indicates the person must be removed through a formal eviction proceeding. This protection does not give the individual the right to legal ownership of your property. Rather, it's intended to prevent unlawful lockouts and guarantees due process. So that's probably what dude is talking about, you know what I'm saying? And that it's like somebody, sliding in staying somewhere 30 days. But like I said, I would think, well, you know what? I would hope that either you are a present enough owner that you're checking your properties with some regularity, or you have hired, because people do that, property management who will go through and check your property. And I guess what you're saying is and let's say Buddy is just telling the guy's honest truth and it went down like that. I would hope he wouldn't have to be setting folk up for crimes, that he would just handle in business and be like, okay, trespass this motherfucker out my shot because he ain't supposed to be here. It ain't been 30 days. It ain't been 30 days. I was here 2 weeks ago, and I had my representatives here 2 weeks ago. So if you find a stranger in your property, call the police. They will determine if the person is a trespasser or a squatter. If the person is a trespasser, the police will consider it a criminal issue and remove them. If they are squatters, you will need to move on to civil court in California. The police can only remove squatters if you win an unlawful detainer lawsuit and obtain a court order for removal. So again, that's probably an example of what you've been talking about, where it's like some cops like, oh, that's squatter, that's different. Then that becomes lazy cops. Feel me?
So I opened up ChatGPT and I asked it about the Silicon Valley show. Yeah. So I said, here's what I asked it. How was Jin Yang in the HBO show Silicon Valley able to live in TJ Miller's house without paying rent? I said TJ Miller because I couldn't remember the character's name at first.
Yeah.
And it said, short answer, because Ehrlich let him. That was TJ Miller's character. And Ehrlich is terrible at boundaries, leverage, and basic adulting. Laughing emoji. Longer and more Silicon Valley accurate answer. Jin Yang starts as Eric Bachman's legal tenant. Ehrlich rents him a room in the hacker hostel. Jin Yang figures out Ehrlich's weakness almost immediately. Ehrlich is lazy, conflict avoidant, and desperate to be seen as generous and important. Over time, rent collection just stops happening. Ehrlich complains about it constantly, but never actually enforces it. Jin Yang exploits this perfectly. He ignores Ehrlich's demands. He pretends not to understand English when it's convenient. He gaslights Ehrlich. I pay rent. No, you don't. Yes, I do. Those were quotes. Ehrlich could kick him out, but that would require effort. It would force Ehrlich to admit he's been played. Ehrlich likes having tenants because it reinforces his self-image as a tech kingpin. But later seasons, Jin Yang is basically a squatter with plausible deniability, protected by Ehrlich's own incompetence, and eventually empowered when Ehrlich leaves and Jin Yang straight up takes the house. So the real reason isn't legal or technical, it's thematic. Jin Yang lives there rent-free because Ehrlich is weak and Jin Yang is ruthless. Classic Silicon Valley, the most competent person in the room wins, even if they're an absolute menace. But then I asked it a follow-up question, and I said, wasn't there a reason stated where he would drag it out in court for a year? And then ChatGPT says, yes, you're remembering that exact bit correctly. Thumbs up emoji. Jin Yang explicitly threatens Ehrlich with a legal nightmare. In season 3, when Ehrlich tries again to kick him out for not paying rent, Jin Yang says that if Ehrlich files an eviction, he'll fight it and drag it out in court for a year. The implication is tenant-friendly California housing laws, Jin Yang claiming tenant rights and possible language barriers, Ehrlich having to deal with lawyers' paperwork hearings and actual follow-through. And that's the kill shot because Ehrlich hates paperwork, Ehrlich hates responsibility, Ehrlich hates spending money on lawyers, Ehrlich really hates losing face. So Jin Yang's logic is basically, you could try to evict me, but it will cost you time, money, and dignity. Ehrlich immediately folds because even thinking about a year-long legal fight is more effort than he's willing to put in. It's a perfect encapsulation of their dynamic. Jin Yang weaponizes bureaucracy. Eric is paralyzed by it. You weren't misremembering at all. That line is one of the clearest in the show's explanations for how Jin Yang pulls off the rent-free living situation. Thanks, ChatGPT, for propping up my ego.
And that only costs like a bathtub for the water or fresh water to ask that question.
I saw that skit the other day. I think I sent it to you guys on Instagram where it was like someone's like, just Google it. No, I've got this. And then the guy's just running around dumping bottles of spring water on himself.
Man. Oh. I'm gonna do one more story. I'm gonna do one. Well, like I said, we do that California thing got a little deeper than I expected. So we're counting it. That was a story. We done it. And this is your other story. I'm not even gonna read you the whole thing. I'm just gonna say, hey, this is pretty dope. Cleveland nets $740,000 from its recreational marijuana sales after the state finally gives us this money. Basically, Ohio, the state can hold their bread until they finally got the law right recently, and the governor signed it. And so these cities that basically been sitting here like, nigga, they selling weed in my city, I should be getting my taxes, are finally getting their money released to them. And so Cleveland, which is not too chock full of dispensaries in the city of Cleveland proper, still sold enough weed to net $740,000 in recreational marijuana sales tax. So respect due to Cleveland, the city we call home. Ah, man. Weed. The other story I was going to do will be in your show notes. It was just about the students fighting back against my kid's school and my alma mater for closing for selling the radio station from underneath the kids, because that's some bullshit. And I like that the students are out here fighting a good fight on that, because the current president of CSU is not a anyway. She ain't good folk, and she did some dirt, And I hope that will come back and haunt her punk ass, but we keep it motherfucking moving. Box has a segment of the show. The name of that segment is called Storytime with Lunchbox. Then I play a little video package, and then we'll come back from that video package, and Box will tell us a tale or talk about whatever he wants to. It's great. It's lovely. And it goes like this. Well, I got to delete that Pablo Torres. Not Pablo Torres. It was anyway, that other video to be used last week. No point in keeping it on deck. Here. That's yours.
I hope it's like the Wonder Years where like you got me like playing in the front yard by a white picket fence, and then like me looking lovingly into like my crush's eyes as I kiss for the first time, and then all of a sudden I'm getting on a boat to war. And then,
I thought it would involve books in some way, story time, but damn.
Yeah, I mean, I guess reading Rainbow works too.
So it's a good time to be had. Box, what's been going on with you since last we held court here?
So you're kind of familiar with this a little bit because I texted you guys about it yesterday. But I had a doctor's appointment last Friday. Just a 6-month checkup, nothing crazy.
Yeah.
And as we were finishing up the powwow, my doctor did the typical doctor thing where he like does the stethoscope on the back, listen to you breathing and all that. And then he takes the little ear looker thing. I don't know the technical name, whatever.
I believe it's an otoscope, but I can double check that for you.
Well, I appreciate that. It's like having my own Chat GPT.
Just put a picture of myself, Chat GPT.
Yeah.
That's a relatively easy episode title. I think we're going to go for that, aren't we? Thanks for that.
So, like, he looks in my left ear, and now keep in mind, some backstory on this. I've been dealing with a lot of like swollen sinuses and shit for the last like few weeks with the winter. It's dry in here, and so I'm like my cheeks swell up and shit. But then like my hearing has been like horrible in my right ear for like I couldn't hear shit out of my right ear for like days. And so he looks in my left ear, and then he like he's in there for a couple seconds, and then he goes out, he walks around me, he goes to the right ear, looks in the right ear, and he goes, "Wow, that ear is completely blocked." And I went, "Oh, well, that would make sense why I haven't been able to hear anything out of it for a couple days now." And he goes, "You should," he goes, "Do you have any D-Brox at home?" And I'm like, "I don't know what that is." So then like he shows me on this little computer what D-Brox is. D-Brox is essentially just like an ear spray. Well, ear drops that you put in there to help loosen up the earwax.
The earwax removal kit.
Yeah. So, like, I would say that's, I don't know. I can't speak to its effectiveness necessarily.
Yeah.
Because, like, I was expecting it to, like, kind of just help it fall out on its own.
Yeah.
But, like, it didn't really do that. And I kept putting it in. I put it in there for, like, 3 days. And I used one of those little sticks that has the camera built into it with the picker on the end to like look in my ear to try and like use it to like pull the thing out, the blockage out.
Mm-hmm.
But like the camera wasn't very crisp. So I was having a hard time kind of like seeing exactly what I was doing because it was like I think some of the D-Brox got onto the lens. And it was making it so that I was having a hard time actually seeing inside the ear canal with the camera. And I didn't feel comfortable just fishing around in my ear canal with basically what amounted to a poker. And I remember always seeing like those ads for the spray bottle things that you would like put on your ear to kind of power wash the ears.
Mm-hmm.
And so I went on Amazon and I ended up ordering one for like $48. And, that thing, I was nervous because like, you never know what you're going to get from Amazon when it comes in a package. Like the name of the company is a name you can't pronounce. And, it's like, you don't know like if the gadget actually does what it like claims to do, but like it had like 4.3 stars out of 5 with like thousands of reviews.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, well maybe this will help me with what I need, because I didn't know if like it was like even for what I was intending to use it for necessarily. I didn't know if maybe it was just for normal cleaning, like it wasn't meant to unblock clogs or whatever. I was just taking a leap of faith. So I ordered this thing, you know, it came free overnight, and it showed up while I was working. So I waited until I got off work, and it has like, it looks like almost like a spray bottle, like that you screw the sprayer mechanism into.
Okay, there. I'm like, how? You think that looks like a spray bottle? But I understand why you say that now. The base
looks like a spray bottle. And then, like, inside of that base, there's 2 tanks. There's the clean water tank, and then there's, like, basically what is the return tank, where the water that goes in your ear comes back. Because, like, the mechanical mechanism twists and locks onto the base, and, like, it puts, like, the suction tubes into the clean tank. And then on the top, there's, like, what almost looks like a giant cup with a rubber nozzle poking out of the middle. So the way you do it is you put the nozzle into your ear canal, and if you put it in correctly, put it in your ear canal correctly.
Yeah.
It kind of locks the cup over your ear and makes it so that whenever you spray the water in your ear and it comes back out, it goes back into the cup and then goes into the dirty water reservoir, because there's like a little drain that sits in the rubber of the cup. And so like the good thing about this specific model that I grabbed to, and I don't know if this is all of them do this, but this one does, where it has a temperature gauge on the nozzle. So like on like the hose that goes in the water. So it makes it so that it doesn't even allow you to spray the water if it detects that the water in the compartment is too hot.
Good. It's a very well made kit, is what you're saying.
Yeah. So yeah, this is actually the exact one I bought. And I filled this thing up with water, and I put it on strong. It had 4 settings. It was soft, normal, strong, and pulse. And I saw the blockage in my ear with the camera, so I knew how bad it was. So I put that thing on strong immediately. And at first it took me a second to kind of like get used to like what I was doing with it. But I put it in my ear canal, and I hit the button, and it shot in. And I just kind of let it spray in there for a minute, like, because you can't see what's happening, because like you're holding it to the side of your head, you know. And I bought the black one, like the one without the see-through tank, because it was cheaper. So it's not like I could look in the mirror at the tank and see what was happening anyway. So I let it spray until it like ran out of water. Then I pulled the thing back, and that rubber cup had the biggest fucking piece of earwax I had ever seen in my life. It looked like a giant gumball. And it couldn't even fit down the return drain and the top of that rubber mechanism. And then there was like little shrapnel pieces that like had like gotten onto the nozzle sprayer rubber tip. And then there was like some pieces that had gotten into the drain. But like once that thing though like was like there, I could hear again somewhat. So like I took the piece off, and like I cleaned it up. I dumped out the water. I refilled it. Then I ran it through again and got more stuff out. So like it was like I broke off the major piece, but then there were still like remnants around. So like I ended up power washing my right ear 3 times until like nothing was coming out anymore.
Yeah.
And then I did the left one, and the left one didn't really have anything to come out. So my left one must have been pretty good, but my right one was absolutely fucked. But like now I'm good. Like I'm hearing perfectly fine. And I like, you know, in looking up like earwax removal and all that, basically a lot of the shit I saw was like, do not stick Q-tips in your ear canal. The material just like, and not to say that I was shoving ear Q-tips down into my ear, because I'm mostly just a rim and like a tip of the canal person. Because I do produce a lot of earwax. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a waxy fellow. But yeah, it was just basically saying that like the best way to clean your ears is actually using a machine like this to just spray water down there to get the wax out.
Yeah. I'm looking at this, and I just feel like that they say use water in, fresh water out, and I feel like that's absolutely the opposite of what's happening. But you can tell me if you think I'm wrong with this.
Well, no, that is correct because the drain for the dirty water is on the front part of the rubber. Like you can't really, you need like an aerial shot, but like the water, like when it comes back out of your ear, it actually acts like a drain. It looks like a fucking shower drain on the top of that rubber part. Like you see where like the yellow is.
I think I think I understand. When they say out, they mean out as into your ear.
Yeah, that's the fresh water that you put in. Like I said, the tank is broken up into two halves. So that's the clean water that goes up the tube into the nozzle tip in the rubber.
Yeah.
That shoots into your ear and then it comes back out. And when it comes back out, there's like a shower drain at the front part of that rubber thing that you tuck around your ear.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that drains into the dirty water half of the tank on the front half.
So what it is the in and out here is actually talking about I guess the tank,
fresh water out, dirty water in.
Yeah. And the out here is out of the bottle and into your ear, but that's it's an out in situation.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like,
it's an out in conundrum.
It's a real conundrum to my brain. I was like, I don't know if that makes sense, but yes, now of course I see that it does make sense. And so it's gross that you had a big old chunk of wax in your ear. Not gross as in like, ew, Dan's gross. No, it's just fucked up that your ear plays you like that. You feel me?
I clean my ears every time I get out of the shower. I always use 6 to 8 Q-tips every time I shower. But this was just like, it was down in there.
Yeah.
Built up in an area that like, I don't stick Q-tips right in front of my eardrum.
Yeah.
And also, like I said, I've been dealing with sinus issues. So it's like, it could also have been
just drainage.
Yeah, a byproduct of that. It's all connected.
Yeah.
So, but now, like, it's not like the funny thing about this, though, to get back to the doctor thing. So, like, after he told me about the Debrox shit, he's like, yeah, get that. It's like $8 at Walgreens. And, use it for a couple days. But if it doesn't work, come back and we'll have to remove it for you. And I'm thinking, I'm already here. It's blocked. Can't you just fucking do it? Like, why do I got to go buy this thing, see if it works, and then make another appointment and come back? I'm already sitting here in the chair.
Your doctor, and this is not the first time I've said it, but he seemed like ass, bruh. He just do. Cause I'm telling you right now, my experiences with my doctor are so not what your experience are that it bothers me. It's like, like that shit should have been taken care of right there. Oh, you know what? Let's take care of that right now. Yeah, please. Can we go ahead and knock that out? And I hate that they play you like that, man. It's just, I don't know, man. I don't fuck with it. In general.
But on the bright side, now I have a $50 ear sprayer that, hopefully will work for the rest of my life. And I'll have the cleanest ear canals you've ever seen.
You got it at the right time. $60 now.
Yep. And I got it with a coupon. So after tax, I only paid $48 something.
I wonder if I could get one of those with my health spending account. Probably.
I believe it is, because I think when I was checking out, it says it is something that you could use FSHA money or whatever for.
Yeah.
Because it is technically a medical device.
Dig that. So there you go, people. You need to get your ears clean, and if you are, spending money, every, getting money on your card. I got a new card. They sent me a new one because my old one finally it expires this month, so they sent me a fresh one. It's like, cool.
I got an email from my insurance today. It's like, we've processed your claim. I'm like, claim? I'm like, I had a fucking checkup. You're making it seem like I had like fucking surgery, and you're like,
My shit is like, I'll get one of those, and I'm like, who the fuck went to the doctor and when? Because it's all of us, so it's quite possible. And I think the most recent one, I think it was Ness that went to the doc, or yes, she had gone to get her some blood work done, and that's what that particular one was. So fascinating, man. So I started messing around and I'm not playing my whole intro for this. Just consider this a little tea time, right quick. I started messing around my taxes yesterday because I noticed our W-2s were available. And yeah. And what I also noticed was because I have no kids in the house now, I don't get that particular credit, but now I can get a different credit, and that's basically I can get what's called the savers credit because we put in our 401k, and so because of that I got a little savers credit. But because of that, doing my taxes is no longer free. It costs me $35. I'm like, that's shit. That this one form, which is like form whatever.
Now ask yourself though, is the credit even worth the hassle of itemizing?
It's a $200 credit, $35.
Yeah, but like compared to like, because when you do individualized credits,
yeah,
you lose the basic credit. So like it's like if you had like $500 of charitable donations,
yeah,
it's not worth it to even claim it because that with everything else won't be enough to be more than the general deduction anyway. So it ends up being a waste of time.
So in this case, I literally watched my refund go up by $200, and I was like, fine. You got
okay.
Balls here.
If that's the case, like, and I don't claim to be a tax expert.
I hear you.
I just know that like
sometimes
people would think that like me as a homeowner and shit that like I could claim like my
your interest,
insurance and all that kind of shit. And then like whenever I've tried, they're like, it's not even worth it, bro. Just do the general fucking thing.
Yeah, do your standard deduction. And like I said, this is a credit, so it's different than deductions in this case. This is an actual credit. So if you are putting in on your 401k and are lightweight considered a brokey by the government, because that's another thing. You only get the savers credit if you are. There's some numbers. They say, "Are you a brokey?" But you putting in on your retirement, so Uncle Sam won't have to try to take care of your ass too much.
Now, is this the first time we've got this?
This is the first time I've been able to get it
because I've never even heard of it.
Yeah,
and like I've been putting in my 401k for
since you got there,
years. Yeah,
same. This is the first time I've gotten the savers credit as well, and I think it might be new to this year's taxes for. Or whatever. So let me just. And
that's the kind of thing that like, because I use TurboTax every year. I'm lazy.
Same. I do HR block.
And it's because they keep my shit on record. My information hasn't changed in years, so it's a couple clicks. I always end up tossing them money. I don't care. I'm paying for the convenience of it.
Yeah.
I know some people will call me stupid for whoa, you're wasting money by doing that. Like I don't care, man. Like it all works out in the end anyway. I always end up having to pay the federal government, and then I get like a chunk of it back from the state of Ohio. My city taxes are automatically clocked out on my paycheck because I work from home. So it's like all I have to do is go drop the paperwork off at City Hall, and they fill it out, and then they mail me telling them I don't owe them anything.
Yeah.
Now, anything else beyond what I tell them, it is what it is. But I've never had TurboTax be like, "Oh, you get a credit for your 401k." That's why I'm thinking it must be part of the big beautiful bill or some shit like that.
So no. So as it is so I'm telling you right now, this is just dumb luck for this year. As I look at this, this has been around since 2019. Basically, I'm filing head of household, and I hit a particular number at the top here that is just underneath. Enough to give me 10%, basically. 10% of my contribution comes back to me, which in this case is like $200.
Do you have not to get too personal, but is your 401k a normal or a Roth?
Normal, regular. But if you do, you can do it. I believe Roth RIAs count.
I don't know
as
if
well.
Okay, I didn't know, but like I have a Roth 401k, so
yeah. I have the standard one, and for like I believe all these things back. So basically, it's just like it's just a particular cut that I just happened to slide in this year, and I'm like, okay. And then of course, if it's more than this, which of course next year it will be more than this because of just the way the bread falls. I won't be eligible for it. So just this one go round, just enough, and just eligible enough, and so forth and so on. So I'm like, that's hilarious. But so mess around with your checks this year. Apparently, you could write off overtime or whatever. There's a document. There's not even a document that exists for it quite yet, which is why the government's been like, you may want to wait to do your taxes because you can get back the taxes they put on your overtime. But I had basically like $1,500 of overtime this year. Not enough to give a damn about. You know what I'm saying? So, but if you really be working overtime, don't do your taxes early and grab your last pay stub from last year so you'll know what you got paid in overtime. And you can.
I mean, I wasn't planning on running to them anyway because, like I said, like I'm gonna end up having to owe.
Yeah.
And I ain't got the money right now to be paying Uncle Sam. So I'm in no hurry. Like I'm not getting a refund. So I just be running into another bill, like running towards another bill. So
yeah. So
the way it worked out last year, it was like basically what I owed the federal government is how much I got back from Ohio.
Yeah.
So I just had to like take it from one and hand it to the other.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, I was messing around with it and I was like, okay, that's fine. It's probably the last year I get a refund because again, I'm child free now technically and so forth. I guess if I get married, me and Vanessa could I don't know. But so I ain't get married for taxes, y'all. I'm saying whatever. If I ain't got married for love, I ain't trying to get married for taxes. So and she owned my insurance already. So what I'm saying, like I don't even got to get married to do that. So what the fuck?
That's wild to me that you could put people on your insurance that aren't even like technically family.
It's
legally family, I should say.
Well, no, she is considered my what the fuck they call it? It's specific wording for that. My something partner, domestic partner. It's a domestic partnership, which used to be how gay people get insurance. They could, we live together and therefore we are not, because they couldn't get married, but they could be considered domestic partners. And so cities around here, like Cleveland Heights was like one of the first cities in the country to recognize a domestic partnership. So gay people in Cleveland Heights could be like, okay, we're together and you know what I'm saying, we can put people on our wills and stuff, things like that. I remember when that first happened, it was such a big stink because of course, the world hates gay people.
Now, like say like benefit enrollment comes around in October. Yeah. And you have a domestic partnership that you put onto your benefit enrollment. But then come January, you two break not you two specifically, but these theoretical two people break up.
Yes.
Now, does that person get to ride your insurance for the next 12 months for free?
No, because just like a divorce or whatever, if you I don't know what legal documentation you need for it. Because, but you can just go to at our job, at the company we work for. You can go holler and be like, "We ain't together no more. I need them off my shit," and that shit gets done almost like too sweet. Now, what's wild about that?
Because the company is like, "Oh, you mean we ain't gotta pay for them?
Basically,
just get them the fuck out of here."
What's wild about that is oftentimes, and my ex-wife has been dead now for 10 years. But still, if I go to try to remove her for something at work, even though I like she's not on my insurance or anything like that there, but if I just say, take that name off, this woman is dead, they like, I need to see a copy of y'all divorce decree. And I'm like, well, one, we didn't get a divorce. We had what's called a dissolution of marriage. And I don't know if they have a form for that. And at some point, I need to just go and see if they got a form like that at the county. Be like, you got a form that just says our marriage was dissolved. And I can just send that to work and be like, okay, get that name out of here. It's fucked up to be showing. That shit is a jump scare. Don't do that to me, man. So, can't call it. And of course, you think you gotta be like, well, hey, you know what? She's dead. Can I show you? Can I just give you her death certificate? But again, some jobs is weird, y'all. Just want y'all to know that, okay? So the realm of how it moves at some gigs is crazy work, and that's just how it is. But that's kind of what's been going on in my neck of the woods. I thought I'd share that little bit of information with you. I got rid of Hulu Box finally, and mostly because I know that this year is when Disney's getting rid of Hulu itself this year, and everything's supposed to be moving over to Disney Plus. And I was just like, well, let me just knock this bill off my list. But then my mama hit me up the other day, like, hey man, what's going on with Hulu? And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I talked about it to everybody locally, but I did not talk to you. No, Hulu's gone. It's like, dang, man, I really fuck with this show. It's not how my mother talks, And I'm like, my login. Oh, no. I just sourced her the show because I can do that. And I explained to her how to source that show. And now she's like, you don't put me on the game. I love this thing that you put me on to, which is a don't worry about it. You don't need to know. Let me say, I will put you on a little bit of game. Just go over to Reddit, type in pirating, and you'll be okay. Okay, it'll give you a lot of guidance, a lot of knowledge. But I put my mom onto one of those places I use to for such means, and her show was right there, laid out clean, all 4 seasons available. The newest episode right there for her to go and enjoy because the new season she was trying to be watching. I'm like, okay,
what show is this?
Bruh. Here, let me see if the tab is still around. Let me see if I can dig it up for you. Ted, Red, something like that. Bruh, I truly wish I could tell you. Let me just go to the site and let me see if it just has that search in it still. Open the tab. Give me a second, y'all. And then here. I feel like it's Ed something or other. I'm just type in Ed and see what. It's probably that movie Ed's going to come up, isn't it? Yep, a bunch of Ed movies come up. It's something like some show with a detective and a chihuahua. I wish I could tell you the name of it, man. But yeah, I found her here. I'm just type in mystery show.
Will Trent.
I
literally watched an episode of that with my parents last night. I watched the first episode of season 4. Never heard of the show before last night. Never seen an episode before last night.
Yeah.
But I literally last night saw an episode of Will Trent. Yeah. And I only knew it was that show because I went to Google and I typed in Hulu detective show and then it autofilled with Chihuahua.
See, there you go. And with Chihuahua, I love that Chihuahua was the giveaway. And yes, indeed, that was it. So yeah, and so of course, like I said, I found a source for that, and this, like I said, the same source. Later in the show, I'll tell you that I watched Spice World for the first time this week, and that same source is exactly where I found Spice World. Spice World is not available for streaming anywhere. There are some legal things going on with the people who own the music for that movie and the people who own the rights to the movie.
Yeah, it took me forever to find that on DVD.
And so it's just right here on my hard drive now. So Spice World, really too sweet. Got to give it up to that movie. We'll talk about it later in our entertainment segment, y'all. But yeah, I dig it. I'm going to shoot you. I mean, I know you got your own little sources, but I'm going to shoot you this particular link because
I haven't pulled off pirating in a long time. I was a fucking sea captain back in the early 2000s, but I have been at port for a long time.
So
outside of sports,
what it has come down to for me is I'm gonna blame it on TikTok. Honest to God, they'll show me a clip of something. And it's like, oh, this is fascinating. What is this? And I'll go look in the comments because I'm a dude who'll be in the TikTok comments, reading them, rarely making them. Sometimes I do, but most of the time, trust me, I'm not in there trying to fight on TikTok like some people are. And it'll be like, oh, it was this thing. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it'll be some BBC show or some Channel 4 show that is just not available over here. And so I'll be like, well, if it's not available over here, it can be made available over here. And so I'll just go find it. And I do that. And that's what's up. And I don't feel bad about it because those shows are free in their section of the world. So I don't feel like I'm stealing per se. I'm taking advantage of the situation. So it's all to the good. We got a segment we do every week. And I love saying this because I know it seems dumb to say it, but I'm real with y'all. We was doing it before shit was sweet and before other people started doing it and before it was cool elsewhere. It's Emma the Asshole. Basically, we head to the mean streets of Reddit and dig down into the subreddit Emma the Asshole. And sometimes it's a great value equivalent, AITAH. And we read some stories and we decide if and or not these people are assholes. So that comes with its own little segment music, and I'm going to play it for you right now. We can come back. We're going to go through some. Here are your selection of Am I the Assholes this week. This one, AITAH. Am I the asshole for thinking about divorcing my wife after she drunkenly exposed me to our group of friends? That's one. Am I the asshole for taking advantage of someone's generosity? And am I the asshole for refusing to change the chore chart even though my wife works full time now?
Man, domestic disputes. That's gonna be the end of that domestic partnership.
That's one where I disagree with what Reddit has decided about it, but that's on them, I guess. Of those three boxes, what two would you think we should do this week?
I want to do the chore chart one, and what was the middle one again?
Taking advantage of someone's generosity.
Yeah, that one.
All right, we'll start with that one as it's a little bit on the shorter side. And again, I was reading the comments on this one earlier, and I was very much disagreeing with what Reddit was saying, but I will come to we'll let you decide. Am I the asshole for taking advantage of someone's generosity? Every 6 months or so, my girlfriend's family all get together. We all meet at a pub, have a meal, and a few drinks. My girlfriend's uncle always pays for everyone. Though throughout the night, people will order food and drinks, etc. We all met up that weekend or the weekend. While there, I had a meal and 3 drinks. When I ordered my 3rd drink, my girlfriend asked what I was doing. I asked what she meant, and she said I was taking advantage of her uncle's generosity. I pointed out that I wasn't, and that it's what everyone was doing. And it's not like I was eating or drinking more than anyone else. We were at the meal for about 4 hours, so I wasn't just finishing drinks, then quickly immediately getting another one. She just said that I shouldn't be having that many and that it's taking advantage. I again pointed out it's not like I was getting more than everyone else. Am I the asshole for getting 3 drinks and taking advantage of my girlfriend's uncle's generosity?
I don't know if I want to go asshole, but like I do feel like you got to have some sort of like internal like I've taken what I now. I guess like you don't know everyone's situation, you don't know everyone's relationship with this person. I feel like you just got to have like a point where you like I've been blessed, but like I don't want to overdo it. You know, but like,
show some.
Are we talking like mixed drinks here? Or are we talking like diet colas? Like, what are we talking here?
See, I would think that because they said they were at the pub, I would think this is just some cocktails probably, or beers or whatever. And I agree with you. Yeah, show some decorum, but also 4 hours, 3 drinks. I don't feel like that's out of pocket.
Yeah,
and so that's why I'm like, if he's telling the truth, I don't know if that's a he. If they are telling the truth, and it was 3 drinks, and they were just ordering their 3rd drink, I don't feel like that's out of pocket.
Yeah. If that's what the table's doing, and you're not going out of your way to be excessive, then like I can't call you an asshole. I guess like I said, just be mindful of not taking advantage, and like maybe stop at 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna refresh this just in case. Oh, it was removed by Reddit's filter. My man was in there fighting the good fight. That's probably what happened there. Because he was like, what the hell, man? He was mad that people were saying he was an asshole. And I agree with him. I'm like, I don't think you're an asshole over this. But there are some comments still here. Ordering the 3rd drink didn't automatically make you an asshole. When your girlfriend said it was one too many, you should have followed her lead, though, as she's experienced with her family. Getting defensive and doubling down pushes you into asshole territory. You see the uncle picking up the whole tab, but you don't know if the family is paying him back afterward or if they have another tradition that makes the pub nights even among the rest of the family. So that's why you're the asshole. And I hadn't read that one before. I'm like, okay, that one at least makes some sense about it. You feel me?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was saying, but they said it more articulate.
Yeah. A little more eloquent in their approach.
Yeah.
Might be the wrong subreddit, but you're the asshole because you aren't family. You're just the boyfriend of this guy's niece. It is indeed impolite to eat and dine like everyone else when you're pretty much an outsider. You're acting too comfortable. What the fuck is that shit? I was invited. I don't like that. Who invited this nigga?
Whose man's is this?
For real.
This reminds me of the video that floats around on Instagram from time to time with that Latino fellow, and he sneaks into the barbecue, and he's like, "Hey yo, what the fuck?" It's like, who invited you?
For real. Let's see. This person says if he's invited to the event, he's not an outsider. Inviting the guy and covering everyone's tab, but his would be to protect and rule. I don't know what the fuck that had to do with anything. You're the asshole for coming here for judgment and then argue with an insult to anyone who says what you don't like. You clearly are interested in what anyone has to say, so why bother posting? So of course people was getting mad because my man was like fighting a good fight. Like, hold on, man, what the fuck is this shit? Soft, you're the asshole. It's a little dramatic of your friend to say that he's being taken advantage of. If the uncle didn't want to pick up the check, he would simply stop showing up and let everyone know ahead of time that he wouldn't be picking up the check, or let your friend know that you're no longer invited. I assume everyone here is an adult capable of communicating. OTOH, I don't know what that means. On the other hand, figured that out. Check me out. She may be communicating a sentiment from her uncle. It is super generous of her uncle to pay for as much food and drink as he already has. If you want additional drinks, you could always ask the uncle if he's okay with you getting another one. He will undoubtedly say it's okay. It would be awkward to say no. So I would really pay attention to his body language, nonverbal cues for the answer. If he seems at all uncomfortable, I would either refrain from drinking anymore or just go to the bar and get my own drinks on my dime. I would say that no matter what, now that she's brought it up, you should limit yourself to no more than 2 drinks at any of these events, given that you are not family, but a guest. She set a limit, even if the uncle hasn't. Agree. So, again, I don't think this person's an asshole. I don't think he was out of pocket. I think the internet is weird sometimes. Because, like I said, 3 drinks don't seem outlandish to me. But
it depends on how much it costs. Like if it's like 3 beers, like draft beers at like a pub,
yeah,
those are probably a couple bucks each, you know. But if it's like 3 like what were they called, like
just fancy ass cocktails or tiki drinks or whatever. I was trying to think
like of something like a whiskey, like
like some Angel's Envy or some shit.
Yeah, but like an old fashioned or like
yeah.
It starts with an N. I want to like
a Negroni.
Yeah,
okay,
like a Negroni. Yeah. It's like them shits aren't cheap.
Yeah,
but like a draft Coors Light, you know, that's practically water.
Yeah, my man might be having a couple of Guinnesses and one Wilder. Again, we don't know. And I don't want to make assumptions over and so on.
Yeah, all we're trying to say is there's levels to this shit.
Yeah, and I don't think this rises to the occasion of asshole. I think, like I said, his girlfriend putting a stop to it should be something he goes, oh, there's a reason for that.
Yeah, like read a little into it. Like maybe she's like feeling like you're overstepping and you need to, like the person to follow her lead a little bit.
Yep. And so that's where I could be like, okay, that's why I think Reddit might be saying you're an asshole. That link will be in the comments. Like I said, the post is gone, but as always, they put a copy of the post in there, so you can just scroll up a little bit and read over yourself, and you can make a decision if you think I'm wrong or whatever.
I feel like this is one of those times where Reddit swayed me a little bit.
Correct, with some well thought out discussion as opposed to saying you're an asshole. Don't drink 3 drinks. Like y'all motherfuckers, I wouldn't fuck with. But people who explain themselves be like, "This is why it may not be cool. This is why it may not be cool." Even because they weren't just saying "fuck you," they were saying, "This is why it may not be cool." And I vibe with people explaining themselves. That's all I'm saying. As for the other one, am I the asshole for refusing to change the chore chart, even though my wife works full time now, taking just the title box?
I feel like yes.
So did I. Until twist my monitor here a little bit. I met my wife in college, and she was soon pregnant after we graduated. We moved in together, and it was decided that she will not look for a job until after she gave birth. Our daughter was born. My wife was a stay-at-home mom for the first 2 years. We had a lot of fight about the chore splitting. I was very overwhelmed coming home and having to do a ton of chores after work and also spend time with our daughter. This has gotten worse as our daughter has gotten older and is a little tornado. The biggest issue was she wouldn't pick up at all, especially the kitchen. That meant I would come home, clean the kitchen, cook, then clean the kitchen again. They have to go around and clean up the day's activities. We argued about this a lot, and her stance was she watches our kid all day long, so I can clean up more when I get home. In the end, I gave up. We made an official chore chart. Her, watch the kid, do laundry, grocery shopping, appointments. Me, dinner, everyday cleaning, wiping down counters, picking up toys, sweeping, etc. Trash, meal prep, and nighttime routine, bath, etc. In the summer, my company informed me that I would be let go around Thanksgiving. We talked it over, and my wife found a job and would be the main breadwinner for the time being. I was to watch our daughter, and I am in a online master's program. At the moment, I'm watching our daughter and doing my master's program. I personally have now been having issues, but I personally have now been having any issues with my wife is. She hates having to come home and do chores and clean up after us. I actually leave it cleaner than what she has left me. I put dishes in the dishwasher throughout the day. We have been arguing about this constantly. She thinks it's unfair that she has to do chores after working all day. And me pointing out that's literally what I've done for the past 2 years and keep pointing at the chore chart. She says she is the breadwinner now and shouldn't have to do this. And I pointed out I was the breadwinner before to begin with and did all of this, that I'm watching my daughter and doing my master's program. She claims I'm being unfair since I refuse to change the chore chart because it is literally what I have done for 2 years. My friends have opinions on this, so I need an outsider opinion.
Man. Equal rights, right, fellas? Like,
bro, I was like, oh, you asshole, you gonna make your wife do all this work, you motherfucker. And then I read this and I was like, this bitch.
Yeah.
The audacity. Reddit thinks everyone sucks here.
Oh, fuck that.
Fully agree. There are multiple little glow in the dark posts here. They're all in a row, so it helps the cause. So let's go through some of these comments. It's obviously time to rethink the chore chart and have an actual and honest conversation about responsibilities around your home. Now, I'm gonna stop right there. I'll read the rest of that shortly. But they did that. The results were the chore chart because she wasn't listening. She wasn't trying to help. She made my mans do this. So what the fuck is this shit talking about? Let's have, I guess we could, it's a revisit of a conversation. And I guess one should revisit conversations from time to time to better communicate. Let me read the rest of this. I'll allow for that little bit. Yes, you are now a stay-at-home parent, but caring for a toddler is different than caring for an infant when also postpartum. So what you had to do for during that time will also be different. Yeah, I would argue it's way more difficult to raise a toddler as a person who has raised 2 children than it is to raise a baby. Because
they're mobile.
Yes, and chatty and so forth and so on. You are supposed to be a team. So come up with the best plan for all of you. This just feels like you resent what you needed to do to take care of your family when the baby was born, and not about being fair or doing the same thing. How many hours does she work now? How many did you work? Can you send your child to preschool soon? Oh my God, I'm just getting enraged. Could you consider getting some help with the housekeeping? There are solutions to what needs to get done. So find those and not worry about what everyone else is doing. Like I said, this got like 6. Hold on, it's got 6 awards. What are the awards that it got? It got the hand clap award. 6 hand claps. You clap for that shit? Really? Fucking. Anyway, follow-up is that yes, a toddler tends to sleep less than an infant. One could argue he has less time to keep up with housework, especially since he also has schoolwork. That one got 10. Mm-hmm. Somebody responds that. Except toddlers sleep through the night and infants don't. Not getting a full night's sleep is a huge blow to what someone can do during the day. And that one got 5 hand claps. And then somebody follows it up. And you can follow a routine. As a preschool teacher, I could get more done with 4 toddlers than I could with 1 infant. That got 2 hand claps.
Man, it's just stupid.
Further down the line here, another glow in the dark one. Toddlers are more work. Laugh my fucking ass off. They sleep less, make more mess, need actual entertainment. They eat 3 meals that need to be cooked and cleaned up. Infants are the easiest stage. Not to mention he's doing a master's program and watching his child. His wife needs to stop crying and carry her weight. Why does he need to keep taking on more work while she breezes by no matter what role she's playing? He said they both work full time. So assuming they both work between 35 and 40 hours, but again, the roles changed and he's still home doing more because he's watching the child, doing his master's and leaving it cleaner come his wife than she did him. Everyone needs to stop blaming the husband. He doesn't need to adjust the chore chart when it's now his turn to have the kid just because she doesn't want to do housework no matter her role. Do you think she would have taken on more chores when she was home? The answer is no. I wouldn't be willing to revisit the chore chart either, and it's not really fair to expect him to. That got 7 cornucopia, like whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's blowing out confetti situation. So that one, people was out there giving it up to my mans. And this person, somebody responds to me that, thank you for this comment. I was wondering if I was going crazy. The bias on this sub when it comes to stay-at-home mom versus stay-at-home father is so glaringly blatant.
Clap emoji, blowing out ticker tape emoji. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Another glowing dark one here. If the genders were reversed, 80% of the top posts be telling him to lawyer up and sue for alimony. Don't pay attention to this passive aggressive person saying how obviously you don't love or respect her. It's normal to lose respect for someone who can't admit they're wrong and apologize. It's normal to eventually fall out of love with someone who behaves that way. Given the circumstances of her digging in her heels, I agree with your friend and that your life would probably be easier divorce. God damn, Reddit. If it were a woman, people would probably tell you the same, and to ditch the lazy, overgrown child of a husband. Again, gender bias is at play.
Church.
Right, man. It feels that way to me. I don't know what I'm missing that these women, and it's not necessarily all women, that these people seem to see different than me. I don't believe this is everybody sucks here. I believe this is hoe shit on the wife's part. And I don't dig that. So that's what's up with me. If I'm wrong and you can tell me why I'm wrong clearer than these people saying you should revisit the chore chart, then please do. Let me know why I'm wrong and what I've done wrong.
What's
in
with
this
these
situation.
people that think that like because like you got a job that means you don't got to clean shit or like do like okay, say like they were both working like full no kid, they both have full-time jobs. So who's going to do the chores then? What's their excuse at that point?
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, these people just want to fucking coddle.
Oh shit. And like I said, she was at home. Okay, I get it. You're saying postpartum. So again, you're making a leap because Reddit got a habit of making these leaps. Oh, she must be suffering from postpartum depression. But you know what? She may not be. So let's just why do we ever assume that she may not be, as opposed to assuming that she is?
Because it doesn't fit the narrative.
Exactly.
You got to create the narrative and then use it to prop up your straw man. That's what they call the pole that the straw man stands on.
Yeah. So bro, not wrong at all, not the asshole at all, and I think Reddit is fully incorrect on that assumption, trying to say everybody sucks here because he don't suck, but she do a lot. For real, my guy. It's upsetting. Anyway, that was your week 7 of the assholes. Got me all mad. It's been a while since I had one that got me all worked up, but I was glad to be able to share it with Box and he could be like, yeah, you right. That's some fucked up shit. And I don't feel wrong at all. Sometimes you need that. But we're heading on out the pasture, y'all. Let's just talk about what we have watched, entertained ourselves with over these last couple of weeks. Box, what have you been getting down with in the realm of entertainment?
So,
besides a little Will Trent action.
I literally saw one episode of Will Trent in the beginning of season 4. So I don't know if I can necessarily put that one into the Rolodex of currently watching, but I did witness it.
Fair.
I did also, while I was there last night, I watched the first episode of the show called Scorpion with my dad. It was a show from like 12 years ago. It had Catherine McPhee from American Idol in it, and
I just heard
Finch from American Pie.
She popped up today for some reason. Somebody was talking about, I guess, how old her husband is on something I was listening to today. I think it was Kevin on Stage's podcast. So how funny.
I don't know shit about that. All I know is like I found Catherine McPhee pretty hot back in the day.
Fair.
And this is like opening a time capsule of spank material. But like I didn't even know what the show was about. Yeah. Like I remember seeing commercials for it back in the day, like when like during football and shit. Mm-hmm. But I never knew what it was. And so like I watched it with my dad last night, and I'm like, oh, I'd watch this. So like I might revisit that shortly. What I have been watching, not necessarily with regularity per se, because like I started it like 2 weeks ago, but I'm currently I think I'm almost done with episode 1 of season 3 of Jack Ryan on Amazon.
Yeah. So my man Tom Clancy, if you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think that's like all of like the, I guess, quote unquote entertainment that I've been watching. Because like outside of that, I've been watching like live streams of things.
What came out today was for the first time in a mighty long time, Battlefield outsold Call of Duty, because that's how bad this year's Call of Duty is.
Yeah, I kind of regret buying it. I've played multiplayer like twice.
Yeah.
Maybe not even twice, maybe just once.
Fair. Books, anything like that there? Any other games or movies or whatever?
No. Damn, no.
Fair. I got a list here. I am no longer caught up on Fallout. I was, but now there's a new episode out, so I got to watch Fallout.
I've been waiting for it to just have the whole season so I could just binge watch it.
Fair. There's a movie called Family. And imagine a businesswoman who's working her butt off, but out of nowhere, her brother's like, "Yo, can you watch my kid? My wife's mom is about to die, and we got to go take care of business." And her niece is just a little oddball, just a little odd duck, and ends up making friends with some young juggalos. And then herself kind of starts leaning juggalo, and I'm like, it just ended up being a real fun movie from 2018. If you can find Family, recommend. Great little fun. Deep Cover. It's on Amazon. Dallas Bryce Howard, or Bryce Dallas Howard, forgive me. Nate from Ted Lasso, and Orlando Bloom.
Oh yeah, I thought about watching that.
It's good. It's a romp. It's very fun. They're improv. She's an improv teacher. Orlando Bloom is an actor in her class of improv, and Nate from Ted Lasso is just having a tough time at work, and he thinks that taking improv might help, and they end up getting involved in London's seedy underbelly, and it's a fun time. It's a real fun movie. Youth in Revolt. Again, this is one of the ones where I saw a scene on TikTok. It's like, what is this? Oh, it's Youth in Revolt, and you can watch it on Paramount if you have the Showtime package version of Paramount, which I do. And so I got to watch that on Paramount Plus. And it's a fun movie. Michael Cera from like 2009. It's based on a book by the same title, and I actually ended up checking the book out on Libby. So I'm at some point I'm going to get around to giving that book a go. But it's a fun movie. So I would tell you, if you have the access to it, to check it out. We watched because it was for Vanessa's birthday. We watched Lord of the Rings, the extended edition, which is nearly 4 hours of Lord of the Rings action. And man, it's a lot. I watched The Matrix this week as well. I have The Matrix on 4K, and it sounds amazing, but it also looks. The Matrix holds up. I'm just gonna tell y'all that. That's all I'm gonna say to y'all. You should be watching The Matrix. We watched Spice World, which I told you about. Spice World. I've never seen Spice World. This is the first time I watched Spice World. Spice World is a trip.
I mean, this is probably TMI, but it's the first thing I ever jerked to.
I don't know where. I mean, in general. So, okay, who's your Spice Girl of choice? Oh, it's are you a Scary Spice guy? I assume.
Oh, so it's funny. I literally got asked this at bowling like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
because my buddy and his wife, she's my friend too, but
I'll get you.
I gotta say it some way. Apparently, they were discussing it, and she knows I like Spice Girls, so she asked him to ask me my Spice Girl order.
Yeah,
and I said to them, do you want my 1998 order or my 2000? And this was right before Christmas, so it was 2025 order.
Okay.
And so I went ahead and did both, and I have it right here in a text message.
Fair enough.
So my 1998 order was Scary, Ginger, Baby, Sporty, Posh.
Okay.
From my best to worst. My 2025 order, Scary, Sporty, Ginger, Baby, Posh.
Okay. My Spice Girl of choice still remains Sporty Spice. I find Mel C to be, I don't know, she just has a je ne sais quoi that I fuck with.
As I got older, I learned to appreciate her singing ability more than I did as a child.
Yeah.
And outside of like the weird tracksuit stuff, I could see more of her beauty because I wasn't so focused on accoutrement.
Yeah, I hear you.
So that's why she moved up from my number 4 to my number 2.
How the rankings changed. Ginger Spice, of course, redheads. I love redheads. So you know what I'm saying, she was up there and still remains up there. Just a doll, but saying I appreciated in Spice World in this movie. I was like, Baby Spice is a real cutie pie. That's it. I just appreciated that she was lovely. But anyway, that movie is way more kick-ass than you probably think it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's super fun. It's
very campy in a fun way.
Yeah. It tells just a super goofy story. It has a nice complement of good actors throughout it. Roger Moore is in it, fucking around the entire time, and it's so much fun. They probably got that man to come and shoot on set for like 2 days, and he basically plays the boss of, I don't know, the whole thing. But the whole time he starts with a cat, and at some point he has a rabbit. At some point, it's just so stupid, and the stupid in the best way. I really, really, really like that movie, and I respect the shit out of Spice World. And if you were on on some shit, or some, I don't know who could have hated on Spice Girls, but I'm sure there were people who did. You're playing yourself. Such a good time to be had there. So respect due. Except currently, apparently, Posh Spice was shitty at her son's wedding, and he don't fuck with her no more. That's what's going around the streets right this week. It's literally this week. So that's funny. I'm saying, so go check that out. I watched Man Up, Simon Pegg and Lake Bell. Real fun little rom-com. I very much enjoyed it. He is supposed to be going out with another girl, but she's holding a copy of the book, so he thinks she's the girl he's supposed to meet. They hang out, they go on a date. He's recently divorced. She hadn't had a boyfriend in a while, and it just ends up being a real fun movie. And I would tell you to check out Man Up if you're down for a look.
I feel like I may have watched that years ago.
Probably. And actually, when I watched it, I was like, I feel like I know this movie, but I don't know. Let's see. I watched a movie called What's Love Got to Do with It? Another British one. And gosh darn it, the actress who played Pamela and Tommy and Pam is like the main thing in this. And the boy she grew up next door is having an arranged marriage. He wants to have an arranged marriage. He digs it. He's like finally at an age where he's like, "Yo, I kind of want to get married. I think I'm going to do it old school and have my parents set me up and blah blah blah." And it's basically about that. And it's fun. It's a nice little. It's a nice one. That one gets a little more serious at the end, but relatively good throughout. It's not bad. That one's also on Amazon, I do believe, is where I watched that one at. I checked out The People You Meet on Vacation on Netflix, and I did not like it. I didn't hate it. It just wasn't anything to me. People apparently who love the book are kind of like, I don't know if I like the movie. Apparently it's a very popular book it's based on. It did nothing for me. I watched it. I was like, I guess it's fine. I'm a rom-com guy, and that one just didn't speak to me at all. So I did not enjoy The People You Meet on Vacation. I played a little bit more of Ball Cross Pit. I played Tetris 99, and I played Tetris Effect Connected. I finished the Obelisk Gate, and then its follow-up, The Stone Sky. So I finished that entire trilogy. I then started Cloven Hoof. It's by the same people I told you wrote Odd Jobs, AITA Good, and or what the fuck? Here, I can just look there. The author's names. Give me a second. I think it's Heidi Good and Ian something or other. Heidi Good and Ian Grant. They also did the Odd Job series. And this is another series. This is Cloven Hoof. And the Cloven Hoof is the devil has been made redundant and is forced to live on Earth. And trust me, comedy ensues. It's a good time to be had. So you imagine, if you will, the devil looking like the devil. So horns, hooves, and all that on Earth, walking around, having to find a job and so forth. And it's a good time to be had. I'll tell you to check out that book. So far, I ran through the first book and I'm on to the second book in that series. It's a good time to be had there. But yeah, that is that, people. So you know what it is. If you like hearing us wax poetic about all things sleeping and ourselves, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. And we're here just about every Thursday around 8:30. If you want to join us live and on podcast services otherwise, consider buying a shirt or other items over at tpublic.com/user/Krunchy and milk, all one word, Krunchy being spelled with a K. And feel free to give us a call at 216-264-6311. That's 216-264-6311. We certainly love to hear from you. Our missing man is 216 on Tatum, 216. As always, we send him love. That is the Right Reverend Lunchbox 2099.
In the building.
We outside. You know how we do. We got to get together at some point, but it's been like crazy weather around these parts, y'all. It's been snowing basically since Easter, Lord knows, since Thanksgiving. And so much so that a bunch of cities around these parts are running low on rock salt that they put on the road to try to, prevent people from sliding. So it's crazy out here. Be safe. Also, this big old winter storm supposed to be coming through as if you're listening to this live over the next couple of days. So you be safe out there if you can be, okay? Stay warm. I asked my mama, I literally called my mama because I was like, what is going on with this? Why is it, people, that when a big old storm is coming, winter storm is coming, people go to the store and buy bread, milk, and eggs? Are we all making French toast? You let me know, okay? I am the internet's Tay-Rail 713. Don't make me push into traffic. We'll do it again next time. Peace.
What happened to your ass? It used to be beautiful.
Stays crunchy and milk.